Viva Las Vegas. In 1993, at only 20 years of age, I managed to spend $10,000 in 10 days on a credit card in Los Angeles. That's a shit ton of money in those days, and it didn't even include the recording studio that I was rapping at in South Central LA doing some demos. 25 years later, I found myself in a similar but vastly different situation. This time I was in Las Vegas alone and still had the same cheeky curiosity as I had 25 years earlier, but I had my own money, not the bank's. I headed to the old part of Vegas, Fremont Street, where the old casinos were. I watched the incredible light show that plays every night, then went looking for a place to have dinner. I wandered into a hotel casino and took an escalator upstairs. At the top of the escalator, I noticed a narrow hallway leading to a bar. On either side of the hallway were black velvet-lined walls with approximately 30cm holes about shoulder height. The best way to describe these holes is to call them glory holes. You know, like the ones in porn movies where, well, do I really need to go into detail? Regardless, instead of knobs sticking through the holes, there were dozens of women's arms wearing black velvet gloves holding champagne flutes full to the brim. There was no one else in the hallway, so I thought I'd grab a glass of champagne and see where it led. As I got to the end of the hallway, I noticed a stunning array of fresh peeled prawns, lobster, smoked salmon and crab. A young lady handed me a serviette and I helped myself to a few king prawns before continuing to the main bar area. As I looked around the room, I noticed that most of the people there were wearing cocktail dresses and suits. In contrast, I was wearing a pair of jeans and black leather jacket. By this stage, I wasn't really sure where I was, why I was there, or if I was meant to be there. All I knew was that the prawns were delicious and the champagne kept coming. I chatted to a few people, but mostly just meandered from the bar to the seafood table. After about 30 minutes, I thought the chances of me getting discovered and possibly having to fork out for what I had ingested were increasing, so I decided to cut and run. By the time I left, I had devoured more than a dozen king prawns, 5 lobster tails and a handful of smoked salmon, plus who knows how many glasses of champagne. I was as full as a fat lady's sock and happier than a breastfeeding baby. As I stumbled to the bus stop to catch the shuttle back to the MGM Grand where I was staying, I felt satisfied that while the USA had gotten the better of me decades earlier, in a small way I did what most people fail to do: beat Vegas.